period, right? We're all used to being in person. And whether, I said earlier today, whether or not you have aphasia, we all had to adjust to being connected through a screen. And I think that was an adjustment for everybody. As a group leader, what I have found was extreme excitement when I see certain people's faces, extreme inquisitiveness while I haven't seen certain people's faces, like where are they? And perhaps we'll discuss some of those barriers that are not letting or interesting people to join the groups, and how we manage the group so that you all, our stakeholders that are clients, are getting what you want from the groups. And I always prepare a group knowing who's going to be in it so that the people who are attending feel like they're really getting something out of it and making connections and having communication opportunities. So I love the feedback from people that are attending, whether things are going well, whether they want to change, what can we do for you? And then lastly, I'll say, one of the obstacles as a group leader is some of the groups are big. And when we're in person and we're a big group, it's hard to let your voice be heard. So when we're virtual and learning the tactics of when to talk, when not to talk, how to include everybody, as a group leader, there's a lot of pressure because we want to make everybody feel included.
I'd like to jump in on that on
please.
one thing, Abby, is that one of the things that becomes really evident is how different everybody's aphasia is. So you're getting to understand that there are people that are very fluent, there are people that are non-fluent and their speech is very hesitant, there are some people that their apraxive speech is getting in the way so much that they're not even able to contribute that as much as other people. What I appreciate so much is the skill of the group leaders and each other, you guys, that facilitate other people, everyone having an opportunity by asking everyone's opinion. But I think that I want to emphasize what Abby's saying is that just because you have trouble communicating doesn't mean you're not getting something from being in the group, or that one person seems like they can talk really, really well. And it may be intimidating, like, should I stay in this group? It's a little bit above me, or it's not. Believe me that people that are in these groups have aphasia. They either have reading, writing, listening, speaking deficits, or all of them, but they also have a lot of strengths and they can help each other. So please, before you quit a group and just not show up again, contact us, let us know. Yeah.
And I'll just add one other thing as a group leader. Some people that come to groups get attached and comfortable with the group leader, speech pathologist, and fellow group members that you're becoming friendly with and you have relationships with. Now you can stay home and attend groups that you weren't able to get to, so the accessibility is better, and you might meet a different group leader and people with aphasia that you've never met before. So I get excited, of course, when I see people that I do know, and at the same time, it's great to be able to meet new faces. So there's some advantages to being able to check out more groups being from home.
Great addition. Thank you for saying that. And believe me, the technology, we're going to talk a little more about that moving forward, but the technology affects everyone because I forgot to push record. So I think that at some point, Michelle and Gina might have to say what they said before. Anyway, thank you, Abby, and stay tuned because we'll need you. I am also honored to be able to introduce not just a board member, but our board chair, Ron Otavio. And Ron, thank you for joining us and representing the other awesome members of our board of directors. I wondered if you might be able to speak a little bit to this TAP at Home program and how you all have envisioned it and seen it realized. You're muted. I'm going to unmute you. I got you. Oh, now I unmuted him and he muted himself.
Got it. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
I'll start by tagging on to what Abby was saying, how you adjust to technology. I have 2 golden retrievers who have adjusted to technology, and they'll be playing around and barking at things outside, and as soon as I start a Zoom meeting, they go to sleep. So they've adjusted to the new way of life and having Zoom meetings and such. Now, what they'll do in a minute is bark and prove me wrong. But anyway, but I'm glad to be here tonight, and thank you for asking me to do this. Like Mara said, I'm Ron Otavio. I'm chair of the board of directors, and my wife had primary progressive aphasia, which is my passion for Triangle Aphasia Project and all the things that we're doing. So on behalf, I'd like to start by saying on behalf of the entire board of directors, for continued support. It's so important to the TAP organizations, especially at a time of a crisis like we've been experiencing over the last 6 months. Your continued support and participation in the TAP at Home programs have been so important to keeping our clients, their families, and our stakeholders engaged and able to continue the important programs for each of you. From my perspective, I would say that the state of TAP is pretty sound, given how quickly Mara, Amy, and the outstanding group leaders shifted the model to a virtual one during these times. And our volunteers and interns are also valued assets to our organization, to TAP. As you may know, we also have several committees, and these committees have been busy and hard at work over the last 6 months and beyond. And if you have any of you on at the meeting tonight have an interest in any of them and have the knowledge and background and desire relevant to working on these committees, please let us know. You can let me know, you can let Mara know, or Amy know. The current committees that we have are our Finance Committee, our Marketing and Awareness Committee, Programs, and our Development Committee. And we're always looking for members to put on these committees, and especially the Development Committee. And the Development Committee deals with fundraising, event planning, donor cultivation, grants, and so forth, and several other categories. Our board in the TAP organization is committed also to diversity, to equity, and to inclusion. We are currently finalizing a policy around these 3 important aspects, and we're also adding language to the bylaws. So we are committed to making sure that these things are happening. So as you think about how you could be of service to TAP, please feel free to reach out if you have an interest in serving on a committee or even in a volunteer capacity. Also, what else can we do to help you? We love your feedback and your ideas on how we can be of better service to you and your families. If you have ideas and thoughts about new programs or new committees or working with the board, let us know. Please reach out and let us know these things. You can start by beginning to send us a chat. And if you're interested, we'll look at those things to make sure we're following it up with you. So again, thank you on behalf of the TAP Board of Directors, and we're so proud of every one of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your input and your appreciation. Believe me that we could not do it without all of you. Not just the board and Amy. Believe me, I couldn't do anything without Amy. And then all of you, all the clients and families. So thank you so much. All right, well, we have some other things to share. I really love that we're getting some chats, and Abby is providing some keywords for those of you who need assistance and support on the chat. I tried to do it, but then I was squinting like this, and Abby makes fun of me, so I didn't want to do that anymore. And Michelle, and Gina, we really might come back to you for a couple little highlights since I did not record that. I do apologize for that. All right, so let's go back to some of the things that we wanted to share with you. One of the things that we hear all the time is, what's eye contact? I don't understand. And where can I get the link? I can't find the link. One of the things I want to make sure you all know is that all of this information is always on our website. I'm going to link right to our website right now so that you can see that besides tonight's meeting and the link that was here, is we have a wonderful marketing website guru, Abby Weisberg, Jody Weisberg, who helps us with with our website. And every week you will see something that says news and events. And right here, you'll see this week's newsletter. When you go to this week's newsletter, it actually brings you to the eye contact newsletter that should come in your mailbox. So I just wanted to point that out because there are ways on the website that you can get on to any group. So if you think you've lost the link, go to I Have Aphasia, and then go down here and say, I want to join a session. And there it is right here for joining the session. So these are really easy ways for you to get involved and check out what we have. We also have wonderful stories and success information and information on our project. So take care and look at our website. The other thing I wanted to show you is that this is what the eye contact newsletter that you get every Sunday. So you should receive this every Sunday, either afternoon or evening, depending on if I had a life that weekend and, you know, got out and about. It will come from an address called TAP Home Office, but that address is actually info@aphasiaproject.org. So you might need to give permission for that address. If you don't get this, please check your spam mailbox. Lots of times people will say, well, what's the schedule this week? Or how do I get the link? Or what else is, I didn't know about it. We hear a lot of, I didn't know about it. If there's any cancellations, if there's any changes to groups, this is where you're gonna find out. We often also do one in the middle of the week for updates. The one thing I'd like to tell you is that if you change your address, if you change your email, if you change your phone number, please let us know. It is so important. We are learning vitally important for individuals to make sure that their data is current for TAP. So this is, again, the eye contact newsletter. Make sure that you look at it. And if you have any questions, a lot of times we will share things about events and opportunities. And if you don't know about it, this is where you'll find it. Okay, so we have been talking about TAP at Home. This program was providing virtual programs since COVID started at no charge to clients and families. I will tell you that I've been working with the Aphasia Access and many of the other aphasia centers across the country, and we were really on probably one of the only centers that didn't keep costs going during the most critical part of COVID. And I'd be honest with you, I thought it was going to be very brief. We didn't anticipate that we would be here in the fall. So we thought that this would be something that would help clients and families, and that would be something that we could handle from a financial standpoint. But at that same time, the group leaders that have been there week after week after week have also not been getting paid by TAP. They volunteered their time, they volunteer their energy and their passion, and we are so incredibly grateful. And along with TAP at Home, it's not just been the groups. We've also done wellness check-ins. We've helped people get masks thanks to volunteers like Lynn, and we've helped people get their groceries. Ron actually had a neighborhood food drive to help us get some food and some gift cards for families that need it. There were individuals that some of our group leaders helped get people internet access and devices. So there's been a lot happening behind the scenes. So that you have some idea of the numbers and what this has actually translated into, we have served 122 TAP clients. We have reached 34 different towns and cities in North Carolina. Wow. We have, and actually in some of our trainings, much beyond North Carolina. That has been over 2,000 client contact hours with 27 new TAP clients and 27 care partners that we've been able to serve. And that really has been the generosity of all the donors and everybody that's helped keep us going, especially the incredible response we had to the TAPathon, which again, if you have not seen, go and check it out, because you guys raised over 42, you might have to correct me, that $1,000, which helped us immensely be able to move to this next stage. So what's in it for fall? Again, we did not expect this, but we need to kind of keep changing with the flow. And the flow does keep changing. We have many of our group leaders and TAP families who are dealing with schools on, no schools off, no, we're moving in, no, we're moving out. You know, these things have been changing on a daily and sometimes hourly basis. But I will tell you, these are some of the things that are happening. We are developing a lot of new groups. We have received a lot of inquiries from group leaders, have been touched by what we're doing, and now we have some new group leaders that are going to be joining us. We also have some new opportunities for connections and collaborations in the community. And to fit all of those, we have some new processes. And that's why I wanted to have this TAP town hall meeting, to make sure you knew that our mission and our goals have not changed. But when I was actually talking to a funder today, and she said, I keep thinking of you guys because your goal is life participation. And now it's everybody else's goal too, is just to be able to participate fully in your life again. So I'm going to give you a couple little teasers, but you will be getting a very important TAP Eye Contact newsletter this coming week, when we'll be introducing you to new groups. They won't all be starting next week, but we're going to be phasing them in over the next couple weeks. And some of the ones that, and we got a lot of these ideas from you guys. As a matter of fact, there's on the survey, there was, what type of groups would you like to have? And there's some really fun ones. A lot of singing and a lot of exercising seem to be the big top vote getters. But we also, with enough hot topics around, we'll be starting a debate group. I think Taylor picked the short straw on that one, or she was the one who was interested in that. Hobby host program is actually what Abby presented today on Aphasia Access, and I have posted that to our Facebook page. So if you're interested in that, there is going to be a group from myself and Caroline, who is a new group leader, and TED Talks and some inspiration components too. We're going to have a healthy cooking and exercise program. And Abby, I don't know if you're still there, but I love your new name for your group. Did you mind sharing that? You have to unmute yourself.
Here I am. I am, the name of my group, at least this audience knows me. The
Yes.
audience I spoke with earlier didn't get it, but I'm calling the group Cook and Gab with Ab.
Cook and
So
gab with
I'm
ab.
not going to be the only cook. We are going to be sharing cooking ideas. Oh, sorry, this is not my platform. I'll be quiet. Okay. Guys, let me just say.
Go ahead, hon.
You know, I always like to talk, but
No.
I'm driving my son to college in the morning. So I'm like half here, half not. I'm listening, but I'm also doing a little checklisting here on the side, okay?
You're
So
good.
I don't need to be rude.
We believe in multitasking. It's all good.
Yeah.
Thanks for cooking and Gab with Ab. And speaking of abs, we're looking to get an exercise program. We're waiting to hear back from a couple people who may be able to help us out with the exercise groups. We're going to have a group on art appreciation, some more kind of virtual engagement. And we are so excited. You guys got to meet our new music therapist, Martine Bullard, and she is amazing. We love Paula, and she's got giant shoes to fill, but I think we picked a winner here, so we're really excited. And I'm most excited because I no longer have to lead music group, because those of you who attend it know what a horrible voice I have. So I'm thrilled somebody else will be there. We'll also be do you want to start it, Ron? You want to sing?
No.
Yeah, okay. I was just thinking you were raising your hand.
I'm as bad as you are.
We also will be reinstituting the TAP Talks, which are guest host talks for our programs. We also, by the way, and I will just mention this before I go into the next thing, is we are also finally ramping up our children's program. And so the last eye contact, you saw a note that said, we need you if you have children or grandchildren that have been impacted by aphasia. We have a student group from Communication 466 at NC State. There's 3 young women who are just wonderful, and they are going to be helping us launch an incredibly comprehensive children's program for different age groups. And we wanted to hold a small focus group to ask you guys, you know, how your aphasia has impacted those relationships. So if you are interested, please email me. We really would like to get that launched too. Okay, so this is the part that I hate the most, which is kind of administrative, but we are going back to paying our group leaders. We have to. And we don't pay them near enough, nor is their PRN or casual labor rate what their value is by any shot of the imagination. But you know, if you have participated in TAP before, that it was $5 a 1-hour group session. Now, I think Ron will admit to you that I have dug my heels in for as long as he's ever known me, that as long as I lead this program, I would like to try to keep that $5 an hour group session because of the format of our program. We are not semester based. We have no need to offer a membership where, oh, I paid for the gym and now I don't go to the gym and I'm losing money, or we have no interest in doing something that limits what people can participate in. We also know that $5 is grossly undervalued for what people pay for the quality of the speech therapists that we get. But if we figure the groups right, then we can go ahead and stay with the $5 for the 1-hour group session. We don't want to limit your groups, so that also means that if you attend more than one group, those are more dollars per week, and we understand that. I think one of the things that became crystal clear is that even after COVID is long gone, which we hope is sooner than later, we will not be ending a virtual component. We have reached so many more people that we will be keeping some virtual programs, but we also are looking forward to going back to our hubs and spokes as well. So what we're trying to do is come up with a fee program of structure that allows a virtual punch card. And we are working really hard at that, but it's going to take a little time to make it digitally not complex or extra steps for you all. The other thing I wanted to mention is that while we have held steady on this $5 a group session, we have also been able to offer scholarships for financial aid for any person that requires support for this. That means if you say, well, it's just getting a little tight, I'm out of work, or this is hard, or I'm retired, I'm not making any income. We have been very blessed that for the last 3 years, we have received a grant for $10,000, and that grant has allowed us to provide scholarships to people who need it, and we have no intention on getting rid of that. So there is nobody refused based on their ability or inability to pay. And in addition, we want people, if they have a need, to apply for the scholarship so that they can get support and attend as many groups as they want to. The scholarship can be partial, which means like half, or full. So you would pay $50 for a $100 card if you're half, and $0 if you're a full scholarship. So here's another case of this became that. And we had these funky punch cards. They didn't look as pretty as this one. And then post-COVID, we are looking at an app. We're looking at a virtual punch card online. We already have the ability to get paid, for you to pay online. So we will be reinstituting fees for TAP services starting on September 1st. So September, October is going to be a squishy kind of period. We know that. I am not going to answer too many questions because we're still in a lot of the process of this, but I will answer anything that I can. You will be getting an email that explains exactly the procedure that we're going to go about it. And then in September and October, you will have your attendance taken at groups. And then your fees will be assessed for that month, and any existing punch cards you have can be used towards that. And then we will have a virtual system for you to pay for the services over the month, and also to apply for scholarships should you need it. Okay, finally, before we open it up for questions and thoughts, I want to talk about, you know, we're very proud, as you can hear, of what shifting and serving we've done. It has probably, in the 17 years that I've done TAP, is as hard as it was to give birth to the organization. It really feels like there was just constant changes and processes, constant need to look for grants and funding, and you know, the virtual TAPathon was a night in and of itself. But we know that as proud as we are of what we've been doing, there are still many, many of our TAP clients that are not being served through TAP at Home. There are still individuals who live alone, who are isolated, who are not participating in our programming, who for one reason or another, and I think you can guess what some of the reasons are. I don't feel comfortable. I don't have the technology. I don't have internet. I have no one to show me. I don't have anyone here with me. I don't have the money for a device. I don't have the money for a Wi-Fi connection. So we are not interested in just these people that responded to our survey. We want to reach out to those people that are not participating yet and find out how we can help them, because you have heard it 1,000 times since you started with TAP, that TAP is a family, and it is not a cliche. We are here for you, and we cry when you hurt, we celebrate when you're happy, and we want those kind of relationships to continue. So we are working really hard, and here's some of the things that we've been talking about in terms of helping. Number one, are our virtual groups accessible? And, you know, do people have the technology or the hookups or the, you know, I don't know if you guys have been following what Wake County Public Schools has done, but they have literally been delivering every week thousands, I think it's 80,000 Chromebooks that have been ordered from the county to be able to get to our, to their students. You know, what do we need? What can we help you with? We started with wellness calls. We did it again in the middle, and we'll be doing it again. But would it be helpful for us to help you? You know, could, you know, would you be willing to have somebody come with their mask and they're 6 feet apart? You know, do you need somebody? Because we can help. And the TAP Connection Squad, which you'll hear more about in an upcoming email, are going to be the superheroes that are going to be helping us out with that. Facebook connections. We right now have 3 different Facebook groups. They're private. Nobody else can be on them unless you're a TAP client or family member. We have a PPA group and a support persons group. We need to utilize them more because there's a lot of wonderful exchanges, but they only seem to be with a few people. So we need to really encourage people on that. I have had in my want to do drawer for many, many years an ePals program. We are going to be starting the ePals and a pen pal program to work on writing, which actually came up as a request. And then we, to keep people connected. We have asked for some feedback on our support groups, and we're going to be changing those up a little bit thanks to the feedback I got from you all. We have gotten wonderful attendance to learning to speak aphasia, but we also know there's a lot of people who haven't been trained, and that we are going to offer some family training options. And then we're also going to offer something that is not a cost associated thing. It will be just a TAP lobby that's going to be open at certain times during the day for you guys to go and connect with each other. It'll be monitored by one of us, a volunteer or one of the speech pathologists, to help with anything, but it is going to be your time as if you were sitting out in our lobby. Okay, I feel like I need a big drink of water because I talk. Before we open it up to some questions, and I think we did pretty good since it's 7:12 right now. I am happy with how quickly I talked, but probably not for you guys who might have wished I slowed down considerably. But since I missed that first little part on the recording, I wonder if Michelle and Gina, you might be able to just, you know, kind of revisit what you talked about in terms of the TAP at Home program and how the virtual groups have impacted you guys.
For the TAP program, I am getting tired this time of day. It's a little bit slower. Stroke. I had a stroke back December, but I am so thankful that I've been able to find TAP. I was to the point where I was afraid to talk. I was very embarrassed to talk, but then I was able to find I was able to find other people that understood me and someone that I could talk to that had the same kind of issues I was having. So I felt less alone, and I'm very, very thankful for that. And one of the wonderful things that I had, even coming to, you know, into the office, that was great, and I love them. But I found something wonderful with the Zoom things that we've been doing. I can even imagine all the new people that I found, all the new friends, and to me feel like family. But there's so many people that we're so away from each other, and so many places people are living. I found such many new people being able to do Zoom. And I'm so thankful for it. And I know that Gina had something she wanted to.
Yeah, the main thing for me is the care partner group and the fact that it's on Zoom, so I'm more apt to go. Otherwise, I'd be in bed at that time of night, because I do get up early in the morning for work. Yeah, so, and I don't like leaving the house after a certain point in the afternoon. So yeah, it's been great for me, and Shell just loves it. She's in here chatting all day long, and she's exhausted by the end of the day, but she just loves the Zoom. And I mentioned that if anybody needs any help getting on, they want to talk to someone with aphasia that is pretty good at computer stuff, give Shell a call. We can get her number posted, and she can walk you through it too.
I'll be more than happy to.
That is great to know.
Yeah, we might even be able to put some little videos up on Facebook, our private group, because then we can get people over there.
I would be more than happy to do some things like that.
Great.
It's great.
So Abby, so that I don't squint and look really close, can you, are there any questions in the chat, or if anyone has any thoughts, questions, if you can put them in there, if there's something you want more clarification on, or even just some feedback for us. I think this would be a great time to mention something. So whether you're a group leader or you're a client or a family member, please.
So we have a couple of people who are interested in joining committees, so that's wonderful.
Yep, saw that.
I don't know if you wrote their names down, but
I did.
Okay, I've got one person interested in the pen pals and one person interested in maybe doing some physical exercise. Someone's asking, Mara, can payment be through Venmo or Zelle for sessions, or is it only credit card or check?
It's a really good question. So we just recently covered this in a nonprofit management class. Apparently, Venmo cannot be used for any fundraising activities, but you can establish a Venmo account for a business to for exchange of for monies for the business, services provided, etc. But it cannot be used for fundraising. So I will, we can definitely look into setting that up. I think that would be great. And the app that we're looking at developing would actually be able to take you either to our website or to a Venmo to be able to pay online as well.
If anybody has any questions and doesn't know how to submit them, just click that chat bubble on the bottom in the black bar and you can type and we'll all see them. Other than that, there really aren't any others.
So just before, while
Abby.
we're waiting, oops, there's a Q&A there too. Abby, can you read that? So,
Yep.
oh, Apple Pay. Jack was asking. I don't know. We'll have to look into that as well. Right now we are using pretty primitive jot forms on our website that, and PayPal we have on our website. What we're trying to do is not establish payment systems that end up taking a lot of fees, because those fees are really significant. And as a matter of fact, I will tell you guys that besides the TAPuthon, one of our biggest successes has been from you all who have started Facebook fundraisers. And the only reason I mention that is because any Facebook fundraiser that's been started, I know clients have started for their birthday or their anniversary or just in honor of somebody they love, there are no fees taken out by Facebook. So you can complain about Facebook a lot, but we don't complain over here because whatever anybody donates goes directly to us and we get no fees taken off of that. So that's kind of a plug for it. And it's been a beautiful thing. There's been family members from, you know, Atlanta and Washington State that have started a fundraiser for their parent and said, you know, that TAP has helped their parent. So we, you know, it really comes from you guys. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Mara.
Yes, sir.
One question I had on here was, you know, what is the best way to reach out to individuals not joining our virtual programs to identify what barriers there are that we can help them with? Is it like one-on-one Zoom meetings, but if they don't have that ability, then is it phone conversations, or what are your thoughts around that?
So we had initially started off this process by every group leader being given like the list of their clients that have come to their groups. And then we divided those out because some clients came to multiple groups. And we started with those wellness calls. How are things going? Again, I think that the initial calls were like, well, this won't keep going. You know, this will be over. And then, so we revisited about halfway through. But it's time for us to do it again. And so as we reboot and make a fresh start on September 1st, you will be receiving a phone call. That's way we can answer any questions.
Right. Yeah.
The email. I think that bottom line is that email is your first, you know, kind of line of defense. So if you need to get in touch with us, email us first. We do check our messages and we do call back, but email, you'll get a much quicker answer. And then if you do have trouble, yes, we can arrange that. As a matter of fact, we started a program called TAP Newcomers. And what we found out was that people kind of felt comfortable in the newcomer group, so they didn't like move out of the newcomer group. So we changed that to be a kind of one-on-one thing. So now when a family gets started with me, I hook them up with a private one-on-one consultation right now with me, but hopefully with some other group leaders that can help support that, and connecting with them and finding out what some of their barriers are, seeing what training needs they have, and more individualize their transition so that they don't get overwhelmed. But I will say, and I think Abby can concur, that the group members themselves are what makes people feel the family. They really, when you guys are so welcoming and so engaging and make people feel so comfortable that no matter what the skill of our group leaders are, it's the TAP clients who say, I get you. I get you, I understand, and I'm here for you. And it's amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions or comments that came up?
There's someone saying, can you add the fundraiser info, like the links to the Amazon Smile and the Facebook fundraisers to the TAP site? So ways that people could, do these personal fundraisers, you know,
Absolutely.
Have a link to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the Amazon Smile should already be up there. Let me close out of here for a second. And
yeah,
Gina, I see your comment. Be careful what you wish for.
Uh-oh. So when you go in to get involved, there is the options for volunteering, donating, ordering merchandise, but then we also have some of our like make a donation. There's also the Amazon Smile, things like that. See, here's Amazon Smile. That means if you order anything from Amazon, which I think we all wished we had stock in Amazon and Zoom, that instead of going through just Amazon.com, you go through smile.amazon.com, and every time you make a purchase, they give us a percentage. And I've done some very nice things for TAP during this COVID period. The other thing you should know is if you don't go on Facebook, I know there's a couple people here that don't go on Facebook. If you go down to the bottom here, all the Facebook updates are right here. So we can you can continue to see more and more of some of the daily things we're posting just by coming to our website. So I hope that's helpful as well. Any other questions or comments? Okay. I really, again, want to thank Michelle and Gina for stepping in and helping us with the client and family perspective of TAP, for just being an ongoing supporter of everything we do. We really, truly appreciate it. To Ron for representing the board and sharing everything about you know, what they're seeing and how they are understanding that this has been a big shift. And to Abby and to all of my incredible, amazing group leaders, I have literally the best job in the world that I get to hang out with these amazing souls. And as I said earlier, that if anyone saw Abby today presenting at Aphasia Access, what you learn is that this isn't a choice. This is a calling. This isn't a job. This isn't a career. This is something we do because we are passionate about you having a voice. My current passion about trying to make sure that healthcare is accessible for people. I have heard horror stories of people over the last 3 to 4 months not get the right to consent, which will also be a component we'll be adding, not having a visitor because of COVID, and having, you know, some really serious medical consequences because they were unable to communicate. It is not okay, and we will change it. We will change it. So please stay behind us and alongside of us as we head into the fall in a very unique, and I'll end it by the same way I started it, is that, you know, nothing is normal and everything is weird, but at least we have each other.
Thank you on behalf of all the group leaders for being such a wonderful mentor and executive director. Gotta get it back to you, girl.
Ditto.
All right, y'all, we love you. Take care. Keep posting, keep communicating. Let's get through this together, and hopefully come the new year, we can, can you imagine the New Year's Eve parties, by the way? 2021, bring it on. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Sean.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.